A good research question is just like a good car or a good pair of shoes. It must be well designed and be well made. Research question is fundamental. That's the foundation of your research. It is considered to be the most important component of the research. But why? What do you think it is the most important? Because everything is focused on answering the research question. Hello, I'm Franz and welcome to another learning episode. So, let's start digging in the 5 steps in developing a strong research question. When you're thinking about your research project in business research or tourism research or in any other allied research subject, please consider the following. First, what do you want to know? What do I want to find out? What's something are there interesting and concrete points arising out of the data? Do I understand the data that has been gathered? And can the data help to answer or to find out what I wanted to know? And the most important question is, can I answer the research question? The research question needs to summarize the significant issue that the research intends to investigate. And here are the 5 steps to develop a strong research question. Step 1. Choose a broad topic. A topic is broad when you find that you have too many different ideas or resources about the topic. Go with a topic that sparks your interest, since you'll be spending quite sometimes dealing with the research question. Let me think of a good example. How about the impact of the pandemic to the hospitality or tourism industry workforce? Or the impact of pandemic to the business sector? Step 2, do some preliminary reading about the topic. In the case, I have to start reading a lot of news articles about the impact of pandemic to the business sector, or I need to find out the displaced employees of hotels or resorts when the government ordered the lockdown. Step 3. Narrow down to a specific niche. In the process, you can make sure that your research is within a feasible scope, instead of something broad to achieve in a time frame given. Since the impact of pandemic to the business industry is too broad, let's narrow it down to the food business, or maybe to the resort business, or to the hotel business. Step 4, identify a research problem. So we have already established that the food business or the resort or hotel business has been directly hit by the pandemic or crisis, so this will be our research problem. Step 5, write your research question. So now it's time for us to turn the research problem into a question, and it should sound like, for the example I've given, maybe we can have it like, what is the impact of pandemic to employees or workers of the food business in Cebu? Or maybe, what is the impact of pandemic to the resort industry in Boracay? Or the hotel industry in Panglao? Now, we were able to formulate a research question. But how can we check if it's a good question or not? So, here's the guide for you. A good research question should be focused. To the example given, it is focused to the food business, or it is focused to a certain location, or it was focused to the resort industry, or the certain type of industry. It should be researchable, meaning the answer to our question can be found by collecting empirical data or through available literature. Another criteria you have to consider is it needs to be feasible, meaning it can be accomplished on a certain time frame or a given period of time, like within the semester or maybe in 2 months? Do we have access to the data that we need, or do we have available respondents? Well, we need to consider the situation we have this time. Be specific. All the terminologies we use in the research question should have clear meanings. The research question should be complex enough. Example, if the research question can be answered with a yes or no, or with facts that can easily be found, then it's not complex enough. Lastly, make sure your problem is relevant to your field of study, like in business, to those who are with me in business research, or in tourism and hospitality industry for those who are with me on tourism research. It must target a currently unanswered question and contribute knowledge that future researcher can build on. Now listen, this is important. In research paper or essay, we usually write only one research question, but we can also develop multiple research questions around the same problem. For example, I can also ask how many tenured employees has been retrenched in Cebu's food industry because of pandemic? Or how many fresh graduate has been terminated in Boracay's accommodation industry due to the impact of pandemic? You have now guide so that you can create a good research question for a strong foundation for your research. Enjoy learning and see you on my next video.